Okay, let's do this. So, again, one of my favorite exercises, designing three lives. And the goal here is to be really creative. As we've talked about, creativity is one of the key ingredients to design thinking. And this exercise is all about being creative and brainstorming. Don't necessarily think about what's realistic given your life today. Pretend the opportunities are endless, there are no constraints. So I recommend warming up your brain with, how many ways can a chicken cross the road exercise to really get you in a creative and fun and flowing mindset for this designing three lives exercise. A quick recap on the powering your creative side. So ask yourself, how many different ways can the chicken cross the road? Is it flying across in a private jet? Is it building a tunnel under the road? Catch a ride across, slip inside, roller skate across, hopscotch, hop on one foot, fly across in a hot air balloon. Really take a couple minutes and think about different ways a chicken could cross the road. And again, the opportunities are endless. There's no wrong answer here. And when you've done that, then let's jump into designing three lives. So, what's so cool about designing three lives is that we are going to, or you are going to design three different lives. And that life one is going to be that thing that you do. And this is straight from the Stanford D School. I've taken a lot of this straight from there. So, the first life is centered around what you already do or what you have in mind. Do you have a hot idea you've been nursing for some time that you want to put in life one here? Life two is that thing you do if thing one were suddenly gone. So pretend your current work were to come to an end and your life one idea is no longer an option. You have to make a living, so what would you do? Life three is that thing you do or life you'd live if money or image were no object. So if you knew you could make a decent living at it and you knew no one would laugh at you or think less of you for doing it, what would you do? This is a very useful part of your creative design. I think outside the box. And I do want to caveat that it's really important to do the work and life view, worksheet and homework, and have some energy journal notes prior to doing this exercise because it really helps set the framework. So let's dive into some more of the details on designing three lives. So you'll notice a worksheet that you can download. Please download that. It has all these questions here and help you frame how you're designing these three lives. So for each one, you're going to want a title for that life, a 6-word headline. Think about geography. Where will you live? Include personal and non-career events. Do you want to be married? Do you want to win the CrossFit Games? Learn how to speak 4 languages? What will life look like? Is there a particular role, industry, company you see yourself in? What experience and learnings will you gain? And what are the impacts and results of choosing this life? And I really encourage you, this is not just about career and money. It's about personal events. It's about non-career events, geography, a full look at your life. For each life too, so those three lives, you'll build a dashboard for that life. One that's around resources. So do you have the objective resources, time, money, skill, contacts you need to pull off your plan? Likability, are you hot or cold or warm about your plan? Confidence, are you feeling full of confidence or pretty uncertain about pulling this off? And lastly, coherence. Does the plan make self within itself? Oh, does the plan make sense within itself? Is it consistent with your work and life views? And you can do a quick, gauge in terms of high, low to high, right? With each of these dashboards. And before you dive in, I want to share with you some examples. So I encourage you, get out a piece of blank printer paper or construction paper and draw it out. That pen to paper can be really, really powerful. And this first example is called All In, the Silicon Valley Story. So this is life number one. And it's all about a first Silicon Valley style startup about finding a co-founder, raising money, having beta phase, scaling, going public. You can see some family things in here as well. Also, some personal goals around doing a half marathon, climbing Mount Whitney, hiking the PCT at least 100 miles. And then you can see that dashboard at the bottom. So resources, I like it, confidence and coherence, excuse me. And then you can also see here too in the bottom right, there's some questions. So think about as you build out and design these different lives, what questions do you have in order to actually move forward on these? Example 2, so life number 2. Here we go, using what I know, helping kids. So this person wanted to become a CEO of a nonprofit working with at-risk kids. So it might be a little bit hard to see here, but you can see, or I'll tell you, she talks about forming a nonprofit, recruiting staff, scaling the service, opening East Coast offices. She also goes back to school and gets her master's in counseling. And there's another family focus here. So Paris family vacation, Galapagos family vacation, doing a family tree project, ultimately writing a book. And then you can see those that dashboard in the bottom left-hand corner on resources, likability, confidence, and coherence. And then the bottom right, what are some questions, outstanding questions regarding this life? And then life number 3, example number 3, creating a community one drink at a time. So this person is about opening their own bar. So going to bartending school, selecting a site for the bar, opening the bar, giving 10% back to the community. There's also a yoga theme in here for health and wellness. So starting a yoga practice on their own, deepening that practice over their second year, going to a yoga retreat, open yoga school. And you can see that dashboard at the bottom, resources, likability, confidence, and coherence. And then those questions on the bottom right. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but you can see the numbers 0 through 5 on each of these examples. So I want you to think about each of these lives over what's going to happen in the next 5 years. So I definitely encourage you, download the Design 3 Lives worksheet. It has all this information on there as well. And have fun, be creative. Just whatever comes up for you, be curious and just have some fun with it.